Hi everyone, welcome to this medical illustration tutorial. My name is Bruno and today I am going to show you my entire workflow to create this digital painting of a simple liver including the gallbladder in Photoshop. Due to the long duration of the entire process, I sped up the video 4 times, but I'll do my best to describe all the important steps along the way. But before we get started, I just wanted to mention that I prefer to make the initial sketch on paper with a regular pencil, and therefore this part is not included in the tutorial. This video is solely about the painting procedure in Photoshop. With no further ado, let's get started. I'll start by tracing the whole liver shape with the pen tool. This closed path will then be used to load a selection of the organ silhouette. Next, I'll create a folder for the liver shape and a base color layer, which is filled with this brownish color. Now, I'll repeat the same process for the falciform ligament shape, tracing out the whole silhouette path. Next, the same folder structure is created for this shape and the base color layer is filled with a cold grayish color. Moving along, I'll repeat the process once more for the gallbladder. Now I'll duplicate the liver base color layer and apply a sponge filter. Then I'll change the layer mode to overlay and play around with the opacity until I'm happy with the texture's appearance. Next, I'll create a shadow layer for the liver, change its mode to multiply, and start applying a warm dark brown color with a soft brush. I set the opacity to about 22% and control it further with a stylus pressure. Next, I create another layer for the light information and keep painting it with a soft brush at 22% opacity, always keeping in mind the proposed light scheme. Then, I finalize the work for the liver part by adding a few highlights at specific areas. And if I find necessary, I'll fine-tune the shadow information and overall contrast. Moving along, I'll start the same shading process for the falciform ligament, with the same folder and layer structure in place. At this point, you can start to figure how this workflow is structured, and despite the simplicity of this illustration, I can assure you this procedure can be employed to address most design situations on any type of scientific illustration. But of course, there are other specific techniques which I'll be covering on upcoming tutorials. And as far as hardware is concerned, I'm using the XP Pen Deco 01 tablet, which is under $60 on Amazon. It works perfectly for me, so there's absolutely no need for fancier tablets such as the Cintiq models. And also, if you pay close attention, I'm only using one out-of-the-box single soft brush in this project. I have a few custom textures for some specific tissue types, but I'll show you how to create these custom brushes as needed on future lessons. Back to the illustration. Here you can see clearly how the shading information determines the three-dimensional form of the object. If you find it easier, you can create additional layers to isolate a specific area, so that you may draw and erase that part without affecting the underlying parts. When you're finished with that area, just merge the layer down and move on to the next part. Now there is only the gallbladder left to be rendered, which is the easiest part. As you can see, the workflow remains the same throughout the entire illustration process. If you are interested in learning more about biomedical illustration, please subscribe to the channel in order to get notifications on future uploads. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps a lot. I hope to see you in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching.